It looks okay. Looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm playing as a Fire Templar right now. I'm just doing a little explanation of my build um, for the YouTubes. So it's going super well. I've never tried using like a Fire Templar before and building just strictly around fire. Actually, I have. I've done a discharger in the past, and with a lot of success. Back in the day when you could have two enduring cries or maybe even three, and they wouldn't share the same cooldown, you could get your endurance charges really quickly. Um, and I mean, you could still do it now, but you only have one enduring cry to work with. Sorry. Anyway, I look like shit, but anyway. So to go through the build here, I just went through mana regen, elemental damage. I actually leveled through area effect, amplify the intelligence node, and I got only 3 of these important life nodes. I got the life regen. I don't really know why. I didn't really, just to have that extra regen. I might get this one later. I skipped through Weapon Alley to get over here to the more life, and I went down here to get some of the totem things. I was thinking about going Ancestral Bond. Now, the thing about Ancestral Bond is once you spec into it, you can't deal damage with amazing skills like Flame Blast, which is so amazing. Like, the way I fight in, fight packs and mobs right now is I put down my Searing Bond totem, and, the mobs go and attack. They're like, oh, Searing Bond totem. Oh, I want to kill it. They go, and some of them burn, and some of them die, but some of them actually have an increased range, so they don't get burned by the, just like the small AoE that the Searing Bond has. It's like a super small AoE Righteous Fire, right? But some of them actually have a long enough reach, like the guys with the shields in Act 3, actually don't get burnt if they just hit it with their sword. So while they're hitting it with the sword, I'm actually, and I also use Decoy Totem every once in a while if I want like to use Flame Blast. But I'll just put the totem down, they'll attack the totem, and I'll use Flame Blast on them, and it just wipes the crap out of them. It's really quite amazing, and the reason why I'm scaling burning damage is once I get some more Ignite chance on my skills, like on Flame Blast right now I have 30% chance to ignite, which is not very much, but if I get a quality Flame Blast, that'll add an extra 20% ignite chance. And to scale the ignite is key to builds where it's just one big hit. Fire skills like Discharge, that's what you would scale as your burning damage, and you would get the Searing Touch unique staff as well. And the burning damage would do most of the work. Like, you do one big fire hit, and then the burn would actually be more than the initial fire hit. Which is, this is what's awesome about fire damage, is that it's just, see, with skills, I've just been testing Firestorm right now, just because I have the microtransaction for it, Siege Firestorm effect, and it looks really cool. That's the main reason why I've been trying to use it. But the thing about Firestorm is that it slowly whittles them down. So chance to ignite is it's okay, but it's not like optimal. Like, for something like Firestorm, you would want to use Comp Effect, and it's a whole bunch of smaller hits, and also the damage effectiveness is 20%, whereas Flame Blast is 50%. And you get 100%, 110% more spell damage for each stage. So, obviously, like Crip said, the key word is more. When you have more damage, it means that you have it, like, it adds on top of the increased. It doesn't add, it multiplies the increased spell damage nodes and increased elemental damage nodes that you have. And since they buffed the elemental damage passives here in the Templar tree, this is 12%. It used to be 8%. This used to be 5%. And this used to be 5%. So they almost doubled or they did. Like, essentially they doubled it, because it used to be, well, I didn't do all the math on that, but this used to be also 10% and 10% to elemental resist. So they added 2% on each. For Flame Blast, you need cast speed to get the maximum charges in your Flame Blast. It's kind of like Incinerate in a way, where it, like, for each stage it gets more and more damage. So cast speed really helps with that. Increased burning damage, obviously. This actually scales with both Searing Touch and the Flame Blast Ignite. Eventually I'll go up to here. Now that I believe Searing Touch is also scaled with increased fire damage. It used to be not the case, I believe. It used to be that it doesn't scale with fire damage. It only scales with burning damage, which are these two nodes. But I believe they changed that, whereas burns, like the fire trap burn and stuff, they scale from actual fire damage and elemental damage. So now they're hitting extremely hard now, which is awesome. So I'll give you a little demonstration. I'm just gearing life. Like, my gear's total crap, obviously, because it's a brand new league. By the way, the new leagues are really cool. Really cool stuff. So I figured I'd start with a build that I've never really done before. I've been leveling other skills like Fireball. Eventually I want to, because actually Fireball with lesser multiple projectiles is a very good leveling skill as well. It just seems to multiply the damage done. Even though you're getting 30% less damage per projectile, you're hitting with 3 projectiles. So it's actually equals out to 70% damage per projectile. So you're hitting 3 times with a 70% damage projectile, which equals out to more than 100%. It's actually 210% of the actual damage. So pretty much it's always a buff. Whenever you add LMP to any skill, really, it's gonna enhance the damage, at least as far as I've seen. Because if you hit all 3 projectiles to the same monster, it does more damage. It just does more damage. Because it only decreases, like, if it decreased the damage that each projectile did by not 30%, but like 60%, it would equal out to closer to the same. That would actually still be, no, it wouldn't. It would be 90% of the, so it'd be less. Or no, 40 times 3 is 120, so it'd be 120% of the damage done. The trick is with LMP is to get, now with Fireball, it's each fireball has its own AoE damage, so that's also another factor, that each fireball is actually hitting each mob. So I haven't really demonstrated the crazy damage that this build does. Like, you really don't have to use Flame Blast in a lot of cases, but in some cases you want to kill them quickly, and the only real way to do that is charging up your Flame Blast while they're attacking the totem. And did I just desync there? So yeah, Searing Bond just burns through mobs like crazy. I'm gonna try to find a big pack here. For some reason my, oh shit, that's not the place I want to be. Charging up, charging up, charging up, come on. Yeah, I didn't get many. But as you can see, like, even like the second stage of this skill is still way more damage than I would have expected. Like, just having it charge just for a little bit, like, even the first charge does a decent amount of damage. And these guys are just running around aimlessly. So, now that I have some burning damage passives, though, see, that's another thing with the totems. They'll die really quickly if you don't stack survivability for them. But sometimes I like killing them with Flame Blast, sometimes I like killing them with Searing Touch. But all in all, when I get further along in my build, it's going to be more specialized, and I'm either going to pick one or the other. But the thing about Flame Blast is it's very risky. It's a very risky skill because you're just standing there, and they could just attack you whenever they want. The trick is to get them to come close to you, and it's almost like a bomb. It's like you're charging up a kick-ass bomb for them to just walk into. It's really a cool playstyle, instead of just spamming Spectral Throw, blah 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 blah, which I did for the Domination and Nemesis Leagues. Mainly Spectral Throw. I also leveled a really cool Trapper. I guess while I'm at it, I can talk about Trappers as well, even though I'm not playing a Trapper. All you really need, if you want to make a really good Trapper, is what I did with my Trapper, is I just had a one-hander with Fire Trap and Lightning Trap and multiple traps. And the one-hander was a dagger, and it gave +1 to fire traps. Lightning Trap with multiple traps, just those two does incredible damage. Incredible damage, just because anytime you have like a multiple, and each skill hits multiple times, like you can just stack. It just multiplies the damage. So with things like LMP, GMP not so much, because it reduces the damage by more than 30%. It's actually 50% less damage. For some reason. Okay. So they burn pretty quickly away. See, sometimes when they just get close to the totem, they just instantly die. Not instantly, but you know what I mean. And I'm lagging out because I don't have tip-top graphics card, which I'm working on. But as you can see, it's just an incredible amount of damage. See, I didn't even have to charge it to max. I believe they might have buffed, like I know they buffed elemental damage, spell damage across the board. So knowing that when I entered these leagues, I knew I wanted to do something spell-based. I didn't want to do the Spectral Throw they nerfed. You know, I don't know if they nerfed it too much or too little. Well, I think they nerfed it too much, actually. And no one's playing Scion anymore. But as you can see with this build, I mean, I'm only in normal right now, as you can see. Like, what I'm thinking about doing is, see these guys with the shields. And it seems like everyone's going Searing Bond as well. See, if they're in the shield, I don't think they... Oh! So Searing Bond hits the shielded guys, even if they're in the shield. So, boom, there you go. Like, it's just such an OP skill. So, I don't know. Use it as much as you can before it gets nerfed. I don't know if it's going to get nerfed or not, but it seems pretty overpowered. It seems very, very powerful for what it is. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for the build. All you need is, I mean, for Searing Bond, you don't need many links. all you need is increased burning damage, and that's like sort of optional. I mean, if you really just want to stand there and their health just goes from, you know, max to zilch in like about 5 seconds, then that's what you want to do. You want to stack as much burning damage as you can. And with Flame Blast, if you can get Flame Blast's ignite chance to be really high, then you're going to be igniting all the time. And you can even scale crit. Crit will be insane. Another thing to note is, I don't know if anyone else knows this, but using Flame Blast on the Act 3 wand wielders, the ones that like cast that reflect lightning thorns, I'll cast Flame Blast on people who have lightning thorns on, and it doesn't damage me in any way. I don't know if that's because I don't know why, but I know if I was using LMP Freeze Pulse or LMP Spectral Throw, I'd be taking massive damage. Massive damage. And if there's like a group of 5 of them, with lightning thorns on them, forget about it. Like, forget about it. I would be taking serious damage. And for me, it seemed like they didn't do any damage to me. We're getting some frame skips. I apologize for that, but I'm working on getting a better video card. I have the money for it. I just haven't really gotten it. But I don't know. Better videos, better quality in the future. Whoa! Let's get out of here. Like when I was doing my lightning trapper. Well, lightning / fire trapper, because really both traps are really good together. They scale well together because one will shock and one will do more damage because of the shock. That's what you feel like. You feel like that unique boss there is just so ridiculous. It's so great. I'm trying to find the waypoint here. Here it is. I really like the new patch. One thing I don't really like now is what they did to the Marauder tree. They completely just overhauled it. There's no like clean. It just looks kind of crowded to me. And I like how they buffed this though. You know, it's good for Righteous Fire builds. I'm assuming, because there's 0.5 extra life regenerated. And you have maximum resists here, which is really nice. But the thing is, where would you go? Like, where would you? There's just they like increase the amount of points that you have to spend in order to go through this area. You can't just take the shortcuts anymore. Now, the reason why they did this, I'm not really sure, but I know that they compensated for it by adding these shortcuts through the Scion tree. As you can see, it requires a lot less points to be spent if you want to just start as whatever class you want. Like, you know, back in the first patch, like 1.06, Scion was the go-to spec if you wanted to get around and get multiple keystones around the skill tree. But now, you can do that pretty much with any character, with any class. There's just all these shortcuts around, which are nice. Obviously, Scion's going to be still the most point efficient class, but you're not going to get like these really powerful nodes right off the bat. Like Templar has right off the bat. You have Amplify, you have Celestial Walker, you have this awesome life node, 10% and a static 32 maximum life. All you really have with Scion is this okay node. I mean, it's not bad. It's just that they nerfed the life that you get. Like, each one of these used to be 8%, and there used to be a 12% here. It just really sucks, because now, if I wanted to get enough life for like a melee build, I don't know what the hell I would do. Like really, I haven't even thought about it yet. I know for duelist, I would come down here. Obviously, you would want to go down here to get these life notes. Um, duelist still has good life, but you would also want to get this. Thick skin is really powerful. I think Ranger has a top tier starting area for melee builds. I mean, you have the sword area here, plus 20 to strength here. You have these life nodes, like crazy life. You can just go life, 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 evasion, and then more life here, and then you have more life here, and then if you want to continue, you have more life here, etc., etc. You can even go around and have more life if you want to build an evasion melee. You have life here. So much life around the ranger tree, which is really cool. But with Marauder, what they did is they separated the life regen nodes. They added more life regen, which is interesting. More life regen nodes. It's 3 nodes built into one, I guess. I don't know. I'd rather they consolidate these 3.04. It just seems weird, because obviously you're gonna want to get the 6% maximum life, and then maybe get the life regen if you're going super tanky Righteous Fire build. And then you don't want to get the armor. I wouldn't get the armor. I mean, they did buff the way that armor works in this game is it's total crap against big hits. So even if you have a shit ton of armor, it's not gonna mitigate it as much as you would want it to. Like, you would really want to get more life than armor. So I don't understand. And plus, like, if you get these 3 points, these 3 points, these 5 points, these 5 points, it's already so many points. That's 16 points right off the bat. 16 levels. It is such a huge investment. And now that if you go through the life nodes, you're gonna need to go out the fire resist way. So you're just gonna have overcapped fire resist most of the time, maybe. But there used to be like a shortcut to get out to Resolute Technique, but now it's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be really weird. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy. I have a phone call. Hopefully you enjoy the new patch. All right, take